Hello VR addicts, welcome to my channel. I am Paolo Trianni and today we're going to do first impressions of, yes, a sandwich. Where's the Vive Cosmos?
What, you mean the cheese grater?
Yes, wait, what? Here we are in the Vive Cosmos. And these things are like, it's like if you grabbed a Rift S or Quest touch controller, pumped it with steroids, give it sort of mass, you know, protein mass, flipping supplements, and tattooed it, then you got these. And they are heavy. They're, I think I measured them today, they were 213.6 grams each. They last 2 to 3 hours according to resources. I don't know because I haven't really even played that long. In fact, I've only just set this up and I've gone into MOS. That's all I've done, and I couldn't do much in MOS because I couldn't get the menu up with these controllers. So we're going to try and work out, and these controllers are so heavy, so big. If they flew out of your hand, you could kill a person with them. And you see how serious I was there. I wasn't even joking. These things are beastly. I mean, they don't probably look that big in my hands. I've got small hands though, to be fair. I ain't got like these ginormous hands. But yeah, like, yeah, they're just, you can't really keep talking about how big they are. And right now we're in Viveport, so we're going to jump into some games and give it a first impressions. And one thing I noticed about this headset straight away, and I don't know if this is just particularly my one or not, but the sweet spot is just, it's just not acceptable after you've had the Index and the Rift S, which are just really good now at doing that. These speakers are pretty damn good though. I'm gonna have to move them. Adjusting them is not as easy as even the Mantis cheapo ones that I've got on my Rift S. Obviously the Index is perfectly okay. All right, so yeah, we're in Viveport right now, which I have. You don't want to know that. And then you press up the button. The what do you call it? The play space, the chaperone type thing is very sensitive, like the Quest and the Rift is. But you could change it on there. I don't know if you can change it on this. Yeah. So I've got the Witching Tower. I've got quite a few games. We could check them out there. Let's go to the library, and obviously you've got Viveport, so you know there's just tons. There's some games that I'm not on Viveport. I mean, Until You Fall didn't want to work with the Index without an update. So let's jump into that first. Let's jump Until You Fall, which is a damn good game. I love this animation screen that I'm looking at right now, but I don't know if you guys are looking at it. No, you're not. You guys are not looking at it. In fact, you probably guys weren't even looking at that beginning screen properly. So when this starts, I'll change over to it and all that. And if you want to know about the glare, or the God rays, so to speak, they're very much identical to the Vive and the Vive Pro. It's like they hadn't changed a thing. Okay, let's roll with that then, shall we? All right, Until You Fall. This might not look quite right because it's stretched and stuff, because I can't get the mirror working very well on this neither. But yeah, like, first impressions is it's nice and vibrant. I wouldn't call it super sharper, but it is sharp. But like I said, the sweet spot's not as good. You could live with it though. Well, at the moment in this game you could live with it. It's given me Vive once, if you hadn't noticed. That's never a good sign, right? Nope. So this is the biggest problem you're going to get. I don't know, wait, give me a second then. It might be because the game is not... Oh. Whoa, whoa. How did I do that? All right, so okay, so as the controller is not fully supported, you're going to get kind of like moments of okay, that was the settings. Didn't want to be in this. Okay, the new triggers don't do anything in this game. That's weird. The turning doesn't work properly. It's snap turning, but I have to click it in to get it working. Very weird snap turning. All right. Okay. So yeah, you know, controller support is really bad. And also because you've got these old lenses on, you've got really an old feel to it. It's almost like it's blurry. And the reason for that is because the sweet spot just isn't there. When you're looking directly ahead, it's not bad, but you're just more accustomed not to look directly ahead anymore now. You've got like now you've got either the Index or the Rift S or something, you know, because both of those absolutely are fantastic in that kind of sense. Now, I have to push in the controller to walk forward as well. I think I'm crouched as well. Also, where did the other guy go? Shit. Like then, like what happened? Oh, resume play. Like it's now saying the tracking's paused because I've lost tracking. But I haven't. Oh. And I lost tracking again. I don't feel like I'm losing tracking now. Ah. Well, yeah, this is definitely too hard to play on this because the tracking's like not perfect on this at all. But you know, what game supports it? And I noticed straight out of the bag, I'm going to hit the Vive button and go back to my library. Can I do that? No. So that's interesting. I don't even know how to leave if I wanted to leave. I've never ever gone out of the game that quick before in my life. I've always got a lot further than that. So anyway, how do we get out? Is there a quit? There's a quit and a save. Okay, so hopefully that wasn't too off the cut. I didn't actually quit though, did we? It's got to quit the game down here. But where's my controllers gone? Oh. Right, so that game wasn't exactly successful. It looked alright, color wise, but the sweet spot is just painful. I did not really notice the God rays, but when I say notice, I didn't visually see them just then, but I definitely could feel the effect they're doing on my eyes, which is really painful. And we're in here. Moss didn't work earlier because I couldn't bring up the menu. After H, he's got no chance. We try something like Beat Saber. Okay, let's try Beat Saber. Hopefully these controllers won't fly out of my hands. That's it saying it doesn't support it though. Doesn't support it. It's not loading up the game. Alright, I am resuming playing it, but I can't see it coming up. Alright, I can see Beat Saber, but I can still see the sign. Okay, this Beat Saber sign normally has a lot of glare in it, but it just flickered on and off there like a crazy ass fool. Alright, so you guys probably can't see this, so I'm going to just check to see if you guys can see this or not. Yeah, you can kind of see it. You can see what I can see. Alright. So, again, you can see the eccentric rings as well on the outer ridges, especially the vertical. But you can see it all, and it's the rings actually cause a slight distortion as well. Kind of worries me a little bit that maybe this headset's not, because like you're constantly playing with a sweet spot just to try to make it better. That sounds bad on all that. Let's just play a song. Don't know if you noticed, but I'm losing tracking now and then. Just like a little bit like it was when the Rift S used to do it, but with the new tracking, the Rift S has been nothing but great. And I missed that completely. The tracking might very much get better. That was actually my fault, not the tracking's fault. It's been a long time since I've played this. There seems to be a latency with my right side controller as well, like that's definitely tracking. It's nice and clear, except for, because obviously I'm looking directly forward at these blocks and lost tracking there. A lot more than you would on the Rift S right now. I mean, even when the Rift S first came out, you wouldn't lose tracking that much. Oops, losing it again. The rumble's very, I've never felt that kind of rumble before. It's very, well, it's because it's like in such a heavy thing. Can you imagine like the same kind of rumble thing that you'd get in the Rift S or the Quest in something that's this big and heavy? That's what it feels like. So anyway, that's nowhere near a high score. So that was 120,000 and my high score is 169,700 and something. So as you can see, that is not good neither, I would say. What would it be like if can I use? All right, so I can get to the window screen, but I don't know how I did that. So I double clicked it and I went to the window screen. Okay, so we're going to quit this. Right, okay, so we're in Pavlov now. I don't know if the Revive stuff recorded at all, because it might not have done, but basically Revive wasn't working. So if you wanted to play Stormlands on this, or Asgard's Wrath, or Vader Immortal Episode 2 or something like that, you're not going to get much luck at the moment unless they support it. And immediately, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm looking down at the ground. There is my hands, and as you can see, it's showing a Vive controller, right? So you might moan your ass off about the lack of index support, but it's all happening again with these controllers as well, because that is just not working. And there's some stuttering there as well, wasn't there? I've got nothing reflective. It might have been the light though. It looks nice and sharp. It really is a nice sharp display. I can actually, screen door is just similar to the Index really. It's very small, very hard to see, nearly impossible to see. Of course it does help when you've got a bad sweet spot to blur it completely out. You can't see it at all. For instance, on that door I can just see the screen door, and that is probably exactly what the Index would be like. I'd say that you can probably tell it's a tad bit sharper, and the colours just seem a little bit more neutral, but also they pop quite well. I do really like if this display didn't have this shite. Yeah, I think I would go that far as well. When did they put that big ginormous gun in? Wow, I'm gonna try that bad boy out. I didn't even know they put that in there. Yeah, so bit of a shame really. I mean, let's go and try something else. Obviously I can't try this because my gun's not even in the right place. Maybe if I went into settings, could I do something there? No. Maybe the only thing you can do is, at the moment, is if you're going to, the reason why they give 12, that's exactly why they give 12 more months of Vive port, right? I know you can hold it down normally, can't you, on the Index to get to this, directly to the screen. Oh, I've just gone to exit VR. All right. Is it going to exit? So what I'm going to do is that I think that the only games that probably will support these is probably the Vive port ones anyway. So let's try the Vive port only games that I have. I don't have that many games on Vive port downloaded though, but we'll see what we've got. Because at the moment most games in Steam don't support this. The Rift S, the Rift Revive does not support this. So yeah, if you got one of these, you'd probably be stuck with the Index, with the Vive port. God, I spit my words out, man. Can't spit my words out. They're not coming out. Right, okay, so I am actually turning on this headset right now, and I'm going through a phase of a bunch of commands to get them on. I'm putting these back on. These steroid-ridden, massive Mahusif controllers, and we're gonna see if we can drop into Vive port instead of Windows, Steam even. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring up my library, which you guys can't see. I've got the Witching Tower. I could try that. That would be cool. Can I use the thumbstick to move down? I've got Game of Thrones, but that's kind of pointless. There's a few games on here I haven't even got to try in yet because I was going to do a let's play of some of them, but like Zed and Transpose and the Wizards, and I was going to carry on Contagion as well. Very weird rumble feeling. So, and most games I delete after I've completed them as well. So let's try the. I think the Witching Tower does work though. What about Seeking Dawn? I've got that on here and I have played it before. So I am going into Seeking Dawn. Now you guys won't see this just yet. I tell you something though, lifting up the headset. Okay, so cool feature. I've now got Seeking Dawn all pumped up and ready. This is a Vive port. You can get this on Vive port. You can download this on Vive port. Now for some reasons I've got no sound, and it is actually connected to the actual sound of this headset. Now if you notice there as well, there was a you know, it's crazy how sharp this can be, but see, I actually got no sound there, right? I didn't want to even apply any sounds, if I'm going to be honest with you. Can I just get out of there? Does that exit the whole game? Right, I'm going to see if I can fix the sound, because I reckon I can fix it by just turning it off and on. I'm plugging it back in again. Oh, it was there for a second, wasn't it? Oh, that's loud. See, now this has slipped down. I could barely read that okay. Calibrate. Welcome to the calibration screen. Follow all the instructions. In order to complete the procedure, press the right trigger when you are ready. Right, when you are ready to continue, press the left trigger at any time to restart the procedure. Standing. Yeah, I am standing. Well, single player. Doing normal mode. I'm just looking forward to seeing that ass. Okay, maybe not. So like I'm constantly moving this just to try to find the sweet spot, and the only way to stay in a sweet spot is to clamp it down, and then clamping it down just makes my forehead sore. That ship does look cool, and the viewing distance is obviously going to be pretty good at 1700. I believe that this might work off Steam's global settings, which is set to 150%, which is what you would have for the Vive, for the Valve index. I'm not reading that, I'm just obsessed with that big ship. Okay. So the screen is gone blank on my side. Oh. The game's crashed. Got no overclocks on. Well, tell a lie, I do have a CPU overclock on. Oh, okay, maybe not. Walk, blink, teleport, walk. What's the difference between the two? Walk H. Do you have to use your hands to walk in this? No, you don't, right? Okay. That's cool. Okay, it makes sense. That's not smooth rotation. That's oh look, it's actually got the controller. So I'm right. So the only place you could probably use this right now is Viveport. Okay. Probably people already knew that, but I didn't know that. I just want to check her ass out. Yeah, look at that. Her cheeks are so high.
There you are.
I was not looking.
Member of the Penumbra Corps, you sure took your sweet time.
Okay, her voice is coming directly here,
Lieutenant.
not there, where she is.
Affirmative. We dropped out of FTL travel a few minutes ago, right over the target world. Take a look. The planet where Major Walker's team disappeared. Quite a sight, isn't it? Yep, that about sums it up. Initial scans suggest an abundance of natural resources both above and below ground. It certainly explains the ACC's interest.
Like kids in a camp. How about Walker's team?
Can I skip this?
No response on any FCR frequencies, but we did pick up a distress signal. That'll be your first lead. We'll drop you right on top of it.
Nice and loud. Might have a bit too loud. I'm shouting right now because it's really loud in my ear.
And that's all we've got.
Ears.
Secure your backpack. This will be your last chance to do an equipment check before the drop.
Nah, my wife's ass is better, if we're going to be honest.
Grab some from the stash.
Oh, the stash. Oh, there's some funky ass jerking going on, but if I remember, this doesn't really run well, does it?
The best of FCR cuisine. Bland and stale. To use a consumable to restore your health or lower down.
What is this? It's like see-through.
Press the menu button on the left controller to open the backpack.
Oh, left controller.
The backpack menu. Use your right controller. release the trigger.
I don't know what he was talking about, but is there a point in guessing it?
We're beginning our approach, Lieutenant. Your weapons in the pod. Head there when you're
What happened
ready.
there? Like, where the
Show started.
graphics just went all nuts.
Talk to you from the ground.
I know I'm not supposed to go this way, but okay. Right, so one thing I noticed straight away is that if I push this in, this is really weird because someone spoke about this earlier that I know. If you push this in, it feels better. It feels immediately a little bit better. Even the what I'm trying to say is the sweet spot seems like it gets better. So I'm wondering, is there a way I can accomplish that without? So maybe like this or something. I don't know. Okay, so that's better, but it's the sweet spot's still absolutely horrific. But you can do a thumb. There's no movements. It's not running very well, I think, this game. I think it's probably running around about like 30 FPS or something. Yeah, exactly. What's that? Am I going over some sort of rain or something? Like there. Seen this on the screen? I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but yeah, you are. Is that like because I'm in rain? Yeah, without asynchronous warp that you get with Rift or something like that, it's just terrible. You wouldn't want to run this on a lot higher. That just popped in, right, as well. Now I'm judging the game for its bad performance, but where am I supposed to go here? Oh, here. Well, if I remember the landing, it doesn't go well. Into this. I don't think my drop pod changed. Like it was like I was facing this way, now it's facing that way.
Prisoner is nearing the drop zone now. Comms check.
Reading you loud and clear.
Acknowledged. All systems are go.
Except the camera's the wrong way. You need to turn around.
Initiating
Giggity.
3, 2, 1.
Really should not have eaten that ration.
Man up. Trajectory is locked in. Time to landing, 45 seconds. That's Captain
Not a good time. I think the maneuvering jets are gone. Coleman.
Hang on. We've lost real-time monitoring for your pod.
That's okay, I'll land anyway.
Put you 2 kilometers above the surface. Stay
Coleman,
calm.
none of this can be fixed with your clothes on.
You're landing.
Sorry, I'm just getting really pervy.
Not reassuring.
Just brace yourself.
Shush.
Altitude at 1 kilometer.
Oh, shit.
My wife's looking at me.
Report. Lieutenant. Lieutenant. Weston.
Yeah, I'm here. Still in one piece.
Okay. Our techs are looking into your equipment failure now. Status report?
Give me a minute. I need to run a systems check.
Well, I guess that's what he's doing right now. He's running a systems check. I think before I sort of make my first impressions of this headset, I think I'm going to go and try and see what the field of view is like as well. Reach behind your head and automatic.
Function is still operational. God damn it, my flashlight. Where's my gun?
Press the A button or the menu button on your right controller to open the quick. If one of your hands is empty, move the hand.
Touchdown confirmed. No hostiles in the immediate area. So I don't see the distress.
Yeah, I like the colours. I think the colours look pretty decent. I wouldn't complain about the colours.
The coordinates to your system.
But this is almost calibrated for the ones, because I'm bending my arm quite a lot to straighten this gun out. And there's lag for that shot, the first shot. Don't know. Well, wasn't I going to put this in my... I don't know how to put things around. Press equip button to scan an object. Okay. So yeah, it would assume that games that work on the Vive port, which is lucky you get like minus. That don't sound right though.
Lieutenant?
It's a feral, moving to attack.
Is it what? You what now?
Lieutenant, are you clear?
Yeah, though I don't think we'll be getting along with the locals.
You seem to have handled yourself nicely. What about the
Jump button on this. No.
There are aliens we can communicate with, those weren't it. What I just killed was probably no smarter than your average house pet.
Smart enough to take out Walker's team?
Not likely, though it depends on how many they ran into. For starters, I'm gonna need more ammo.
You can worry about that later. Keep up your search for now.
Got stuck. All right. Like I said, the viewing distance is pretty good. I remember when I went in here with a CV1 and I didn't like it because it was a blur fest, realistically. Really? Okay. Sounds like my wife's dying. Oh, there goes the sweet spot. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to take this headset off. It's gonna hurt. It's hurting my forehead. Kind of like the Quest might have a competitor for comfort here. I mean, it'd be alright if you could find that sweet spot. Probably. Critical. Is this like damage stats? I thought it was giving me a minus for killing things.
Captain, it looks like a minute. Any support you can give me down there?
Until we can get drones in position, we won't have eyes on you.
Alright.
Some seismic readings, but our threat assessments may be hampered by the rocks.
So I mean, if they can get most of Viveport working, why can't they just get most of Steam working, right?
Situation on the surface. Nothing will get in behind you without our knowing.
Guess it's as good as I'm gonna get.
These spiders are funky. Oh, did I just have a spider jump on me then? Oh god, that's horrible. Oh well, that is, but that needs shooting. Excuse me, coming through. Alright, let's end this here. Let's go and have a look at what our field of view was that I mentioned earlier. I wonder if I can, no, I can't hold it. See, it doesn't work when you hold it down like you used to get just to the exit. I love the way it's just got exit. I don't even know what it is that you're trying to get out of. Alright, hopefully that was the right size because that's all been resized really stupidly right now. Okay, so we're actually in Steam Home. And here's my hands. I can't. Oh, okay. Very weird. Get this up, go to environments, and we'll go to ROV test. Okay, so this is kind of a field of view testing type thing. I don't know why these things are so far away. But yeah, they're far away. Like if you actually download the actual version of it, oops, I didn't fall quite right. Odd controls. Come on, move now. I'm stuck. Alright, so yeah, I would normally not use this one. I'd normally use the one that's a little bit more precise. You see, like, that can't be right, can it? I did think the field of view was a bit shit, but I mean, it's going to be different dependent on who's using it. But if I push this all the way in, I would definitely get to probably 100, but I would definitely not, because this is kind of like I said, it's a very weird. I mean, the PlayStation, I don't know, no, actually the PlayStation actually just came out, didn't it, like the Rift S. But this has this kind of like flip up lid thing, which is nice because it does give you a breather, but okay, so that does give me more of a field of view just there, so I can actually probably move it. Yeah. So that's very close to 90. That's the same as the Rift S for me. The valve index is 110 when I tested it. So as you can see, this is not as good as the valve index. Well, that is a bummer. So let's talk about it a little bit. Actually, let's get out of this screen because it doesn't look fantastic. Ooh, I'll just exit Steam VR, but that's perfect. Right, okay, so first impressions. This is definitely the first of first impressions, because obviously I haven't really got to use it much, and I don't think I'm going to use it much because holy crap, it's almost like the Quest. It's just to the point where you can't use it for too long because it just gets too sore on my forehead, because you know the sweet spot's so bad that I'm just feeling like I'm gonna have to clamp it somehow. And with the Rift S, I can just drop the halo on top of my head and wear it like a crown, you know, and I'm in the sweet spot instantly. And I can even do that kind of, I can just slide on the index and it's straight there in the sweet spot, and everything's fine. If anything goes wrong with my green screen behind me, it's because there's a cat going across my light. So yeah, the sweet spot is the worst sweet spot I think I've ever seen. I think I had once a Samsung Odyssey that was faulty. I'm pretty sure it was faulty, and meow, and it was on par with this realistically. But then when I got another Odyssey, so maybe this is just faulty, but I don't know. But the sweet spot just feels horrific. I mean, it's I mean, if it's only 90 field of view as well, and you're losing about that much, you know, so say it's that wide or something like that, and then you know, that's kind of like blurry, and then that's a little bit blurry, and then it's sweet. But then the horizontal and the vertical, they go drop off pretty quick as well. Even with other headsets, the sweet spot seems to be okay on the vertical, and it's just bad on the horizontal near the edges. But with this, it's bad on the vertical as well. It's just it's literally just be looking forward constantly in this headset. It is very sharp and it is very colourful. The blacks didn't seem actually as bad as I thought they were previously. They didn't come across to me much there, but I'm not exactly playing a horror game. But we will try some darker games. We could have tried Vader Immortal, but it didn't work. Yeah, Revive games won't work. Steam games don't seem to want to support the controllers. So Viveport is the only option you've got. So Revive is definitely not on the agenda. So if you wanted to play like Asgard's Wrath, which is out in She's Dead, it's going to be out on the 10th, so it's not far away. And yeah, you're just not going to be able to play it using this. Like I said, the comfort, the halo just feels warm as well. It feels really warm on my ears, even warmer than the Mantis headphones I have on the Rift S. I mean, I don't get warm around this area here normally unless I'm wearing the Index, but it tends to be more at the front with the Index, because you know the front of the Index is quite warm, but this is actually warm around my ears and the back. The halo is kind of comfortable, but then, you know, when it pushes into your forehead, that's kind of doing me in. But that might be personal, because, you know, comfort with headsets like VR headsets can be very opinionated. There can be very different. People like halos, people don't like halos. I kind of find whatever's comfortable. With the Rift S, for instance, is one of my most comfortable headsets. Other people don't find that comfortable. People prefer the comfort of the Index, or even the CV1, the original CV1 was comfortable, or the Gilux audio strap was really comfortable for a lot of people. For me, yeah, I think the only thing that lets me down here is the little bit of heat around my ears and the pressure on my forehead. And the pressure on my forehead just makes me want to take this off, because it almost feels like it's giving me a headache. And obviously the screen with the sweet spot and the God rays, which I didn't notice too much, and it's so easy not to notice the God rays as much when you've got a sweet spot as bad as that. And this is just the point of the Index. If my Index, which I've got down over here, was as bad sweet spot as this, I would have never kept it. And if same with the Rift S, same with probably most VR headsets. The CV1 was a million times better than this sweet spot wise for me, and so was the Samsung Odyssey that I got, which was perfectly fine, and even the PSVR had a better sweet spot by miles as well. This is just atrocious. It's nice and sharp screen though. It does seem a little bit sharper. Like when I was in Pavlov, I did try Pavlov with this. I like the colors, I like the sharpness. It looked really sharp, but I couldn't play Pavlov because it was a Steam. It was on Steam that I tried it on, and my gun was in the floor, and it just wasn't acknowledging these things, these steroid touch controllers at all. The padding on the side seems comfortable enough. It's kind of similar to the Rift S, but a better quality. The headset quality itself, I'm going to put these down. I'm going to be honest with you, because I weigh so much, I'm getting buff from carrying these. And this on my headset, oh, on my forehead. Don't know why it's hurt my forehead so much. The build quality of this is actually pretty damn good. It's, I think it's quite sturdy, quite strong. It doesn't feel flappy or shaky or rattly or like it could break. Let's take it off. I think that they could have done better with the cable running it right round the back, but yeah, I think everything's pretty strong. There's a little bit of a shake here where it's not tight. This strap, like I said, it's not like this leatherette-y kind of bit here is like really bad on my forehead. The sound sounds really good. Moving these around ain't so fun though, but you know, they never were. And the sound sounds all right, but it didn't sound directional, but it could have been just the games I was playing. I'm sure if I went back into the same game, which was called something Dawn, and I did it on the Rift S or the Index or something, it'll probably be just the same, because it could be just the sound that they had in there. The tracking was just it was a lot. I think it's worse than the Rift S when it was released, and the Rift S is miles better. In fact, the Rift S is like completely changing my mind about inside out tracking. I think inside out tracking can be really good, because the Rift S has proved that. This is doing the opposite at the moment. It's not proving it at all. It's kind of like, yeah, pretty bad. I can see the eccentric rings on this as well near the outer edges, and the God Ray is there. It's the same lenses. It feels the same lenses as the Vive and the Vive Pro, which is not great. And they were probably more comfortable. Well, the comfort's not, like I said, it's not totally bad. It's just the pressure on the front here, trying to look for the sweet spot really, and the heat, obviously. It's a good thing that you can disconnect these though if you wanted to. So let's the build quality, yeah, fantastic. I love the flip up as well, but if the flip up's causing problems with, because like I said, if you could push it in nearer, you'd get a more better field of view. You could get probably 100. Well, for me, I would get an extra 10 degrees field of view if I could just push it in more. Because you can't push it in more as well, light bleed from the outside world is getting in quite a bit, so a lot more than its competitors, for sure. Let's go to the steroid pumped up Mahusif controllers. They are heavy, you feel them in your hand. Some people like feeling heavy controllers in their hands, but I like to feel somewhere a bit more in between, and to the point where I don't feel them at all, so it doesn't really break immersion. And these things are huge. They do look, you can't argue, they look amazing. They look chunky, they look well built, they are strong as a tank looking. They don't look as flimsy as the touch controllers. They do have nice sounds to them. They don't have a click gate at all. And that's probably one of the best thumbsticks I've ever felt in my life. The buttons, they got a little bit of squeal to them. I don't know if you can you probably should hear that because it's right next to my mic. Can you hear that little squeal? So that's pretty good. But I don't, and they're positioned okay, but they're not as ergonomic as the touch controllers by far. The touch controllers, even the new touch controllers, are more ergonomic than this, but your thumb does sit perfectly on top of the thumbsticks, which is fantastic. The only other issue is with them is that they have another button, don't they? They have another shoulder button, another trigger, and moving up to that trigger is actually a little bit awkward, and it doesn't. It should have a proper click, but it doesn't have a proper click. That's pretty bad. Clicking down on the thumbsticks sounds perfect. And the other problem with these controllers is, well, I haven't actually noticed this myself yet because I haven't got to the point where I've used it enough, because you're literally seeing the first time I've used it. Like I said before, I've only had the Cosmos on just to do the tutorial setup. And I went into Moss for a quick second, and I couldn't really go anywhere Moss because it was a Steam game and I couldn't open the menu to start a new game. And I had finished the last game because I just did a playthrough on that, which finishes next week on Tuesday, next Tuesday. So yeah, so the battery life, yeah, probably ain't good, but we don't know yet because we haven't got to that point. But have you noticed the light has gone off and it is still connected and it's still on, but it notices that my headset's not on my head, so it's turned it off. So it does try its best to save as much of battery life as you can, and that's pretty good, because even now with my Rift S I have to take the batteries out because one controller just doesn't get it and it would just stay on there draining. If you take the batteries out, those batteries last though friggin' ages. I don't change them for weeks, and I use it a lot, as you fully well know. But these are the controllers. not as ergonomic, and I'm sorry they don't take the crown of the original touch controller or even the new touch controllers. I am afraid to say I think the new touch controllers are still the best VR controllers at the moment, and I'd even go and say the index controller it is definitely probably second, because, well, you know, the click gate, yeah, it's annoying, and yes, you can't reach the thumbsticks. It's ergonomically a nightmare, but the fact that you can take your hands off it, it does kind of, and it's lighter and it's rechargeable and lasts longer. I just think they're bonuses, and it's obviously, well, you don't just need Viveport to use it. You can use it in Viveport. In fact, you can use it in Steam. You can even use it on the Rift S. There's some games that don't support it, yes, but those controllers by the Cosmos, it just seems like Viveport's the only way you can go. So yeah, that's generally my first impressions. Would I recommend it? Like, you know, would I say like get this over the Index or the Rift S? No, I still think the Rift S is one of my best recommendations if your IPD fits, because one, it's only £399. It's almost like a guitar, isn't it? You don't tell somebody to go and buy the best Gibson, because if they haven't learned to play a guitar, that, you know, it might be just a big waste of money. So I'm not going to go and tell them to buy an Index that's going to cost 1,000 bones when, you know, they're only going to put it on their head once. So I'd either recommend the Quest or I'd recommend like the Rift S or something like that, because I just don't want them spending a lot of money. I don't like the idea of telling somebody like, yeah, go and empty out your bank and get an Index. The Rift S has got really good clarity. It's got good tracking. It's just got bad audio. That's the only bad part about the Rift S, and it pretty much works on everything. It works most Viveport games. It works pretty much every Steam game. It works in every exclusive it brings out, and works on its own platform, obviously, and that's fantastic. Then it's the bonus though of having a Cosmos is the wireless adapter, which is a huge bonus, but I think they're messed up on that sweet spot for me. I wouldn't do that. I'd wait for the Index to bring out a solution. It's all active tonight. I'll wait for the Index to bring out a solution if you wanted something wireless, or I'd get a Quest or something, you know, because, you know, or because I wouldn't hold out for the Rift S, but, you know, so if you wanted something wireless, maybe the Rift S is not the best solution, unless a third party comes out, like TPcast comes out with something, and then they've got to improve on their last one, because I've had a TPcast and there was some seriously latency issues, and yeah, I'm busy tonight again. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend this. In fact, I wouldn't even recommend this over an Index. Save up a little bit more and get an Index at the moment, because that sweet spot is just, that's my first opinion. That sweet spot has just killed me. It really has. Very disappointed about the sweet spot. The controllers are not that disappointing, other than they only work in the Viveport. Comfort, yeah, it hurts on my forehead, but, you know, the Samsung Odyssey kind of hurt a little bit there as well, I believe, and when I got that sorted out, it was fine. So it's just a case of getting used to it. Other than that, the comfort's not too bad. The God Rays is just like the Vive. It's not as bad as the glare in the Index, but it's very distracting. But it's hard to be. If it was like the Index is like what 110 field of view for me, and for some of you guys it could be 130 field of view, and you've got glare going across the whole of that in a big bright white scene or something like that, and that can be kind of distracting. Yes, it can be quite bad. This has some pretty badass glare and God rays or whatnot, and when you've got it on your head, you've kind of got a smaller field of view, and then you've also got this sweet spot that's completely crap, and everything outside that sweet spot is just complete mess. So that means you've got this like even smaller part that's just the sweet spot, and then the distractions are going on there. It's barely as much distracting, because it's just too small anyway. No Mora. I didn't see any Mora. I didn't see any corona aberrations, whatever they're called. You know, I didn't see any smearing. I didn't see any artifacts. Didn't see any dead pixels. I was looking everywhere. The colors just, yeah, were seeing fine. So I think the screen's all right, other than the sweet spot. I think the lenses are a big. I don't understand how much hate did we give HTC for the Vive Pro having the same lenses as the Vive, when Samsung, who has the same screen as the Vive Pro, had better lenses. The kind of the same lenses that almost feel like they're in the Quest. And they went in with it. They were like, oh yeah, we love it. It's almost like they're obsessed with those lenses. I don't know, maybe they bought maybe they bought a whole friggin' super truck size of those lenses and they just haven't got rid of them all yet, and they just keep having to use them or something. Or they're just out of the loop on a new the new lenses, Fresnel lenses. Because obviously the Index, yeah, it's got the glare, but the glare is probably caused because of the 2. But the clarity is really good in it. Other than the glare, it's really nice, and it's got that nice sweet spot. And same with the Rift S, where you have you have God rays kind of, which are very tiny, and a really good sweet spot as well. And yet they're like, oh, let's forget that lens. Let's just go with the old lens. And yeah, it's terrible. I don't even know how they could have created such a bad sweet spot. I have to play with it some more, because I just can't believe that. I haven't really read any reviews or seen any reviews online, so I don't know if anyone else is saying anything about the sweet spot in that. But the sweet spot is, I need to keep going. I'm just whining and ranting about the sweet spot now. But yeah, £699 is a bit of a hard sell with technology that doesn't seem like it's gone anywhere, with same lenses and bad sweet spot. And you got a 1700p screen in there that I would rather be an Index in an Index 1600p screen, because I just think it would look a bit clearer, because you could see from everywhere and just move your eyes around. You don't have to move your head around. So yeah, a bit of a downer from first impressions, from my opinion. The controllers are nice, a bit heavy. Battery life's crap. Other than that, I think they're good enough. The button placing is all great. I like the flappy bit, but it needs to be able to come near as well, so it needs to go up and in. Definitely. IPD adjustment seems to work, and you can see it working. That's fantastic. It does work, and it does a good job. And I still love the Vive, the cross thing they have, which gets sharper when you go in. I think that's fantastic. Brilliant. Really just how I wish the Rift S had something like that with their software IPD, because then you'll know it's definitely not working, because I'm pretty much sure it doesn't do anything. So yeah, that's that. I don't know if I've missed anything. I'm trying to think of right now. Is the cable long enough? It is for me. It's a very long cable, actually. I think it's a very good cable. I think that's pretty much it. A bit disappointing. No wonder why you get 12 months of iPort though, really, is it? It's pretty obvious now. That's the only games you're going to be able to play with this thing at the moment. Well, I don't even know how long that'll last. That might not be even a moment. I mean, at least the Index, there was like people saying, oh, we'll have Index support, didn't they? A few people did say that straight out of the box, and I've not heard anything about people saying they have Cosmos support. So anyway, that's my first impressions. I might do a second impressions and then a full review when I've returned it, because at the moment I would return it. It's just not that good, I think. But it could improve. Who knows? Don't know how you could improve the sweet spot, but at least the tracking can improve. Maybe even battery life could improve if they did something in that area. Anyway, so yeah, if you like this video, please give me a like, and also subscribe, because it goes straight to the heart. And also hit that bell button if you want to watch more videos like this, and also the follow up to this video and me trying out other games with this thing. I'm calling it a thing now. It's not a Cosmos, it's a thing that ruins my eyes and my forehead. Yeah, anyway, I love you a long time. Ciao.